Well, hello there. Today I have been working on this giant Cyclops by Reaper Miniatures. It's an absolutely beautiful miniature, as you can tell. It's looking fabulous, and I'm getting to the stage where I want to paint the eye, and I thought, oh, why don't I make a tiny little quick video of how I paint my Cyclops eyes. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you how I paint the Cyclops eye. Now for the Cyclops eye, all I'm using is some dragon white, some solid black from MSP Paints, and we have a huge gloss varnish by Veleco. Now the reason why I've got this big huge bottle is because I do a lot of painting, and it actually works out cheaper to buy it in volume than it does to buy it in the little bottles. So I bought this off I think it's Amazon for about £9, so it's really quite cheap. And of course for the gloss varnish, you can use it for water effects, eyes, skin, sweaty skin, all sorts of things you can use gloss varnish for, but I use it for the eyes and it really does work well. So let's get some focus and get a close-up of this mini, and then we can get those that's me I'm focusing on. Let's get the right camera. There we go. There. Lovely jubbly. So I'm just going to start off with the dragon white, and what we're going to do is just painting the eye itself. We might need a couple of layers just to give a nice bright white over the eye. Now most people find the hardest part of doing a miniature is the eyes, and to be honest, that is the truth. The eyes are always going to be the hardest thing to paint on a miniature. With a Cyclops, you've only got to worry about one eye, so of course you're never going to get the boss-eyed effect. You're not going to have wonky eyes because of course you've only got the one eye. So very, very simple. So we just let that dry, and then we'll come back once that's dried. Okay, so I'm going to add some dragon black now, just like I do with most of my normal miniatures. I'm just going to go around the edge of the eye, just to give a dark background with a shadow. I just work away all the way around. Now what I'm going to do in the center of the eye is I'm not going to just put a blob of black. I'm going to make a half moon. Because the giant Cyclops is quite tall, we want to kind of have him looking down. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a half moon going up and right to the bottom, and then filling in that in with black, so it looks like he's looking down a little bit. So his eye, it looks like he's gazing down towards the ground, and if you wanted him to be looking upwards, of course you'd do that half crescent black circle looking upwards. You have it the other way around, and then it'd be looking upwards, of course, but we want him to go down. Lovely. Now just got to let that dry for a couple of seconds. I'll wash my brush. I was just going straight back into the dragon white. Just make an extra good point on this brush here. And what we're going to do is, in the center of this eye, we're going to add two tiny little dots. There's one, and there's two. So we've got two little dots in the center of that eye. Now let this dry, and all we do is we add some gloss varnish. And the gloss varnish, remember, it does look smoky, it does look like a white mixture when it first goes on to your mini, but it dries crystal clear, and I'll show you that now. So with this when you use any varnishes like this varnish here, don't go shaking the bottle. If you want to mix the paint, just go like this, just go back and forth like so. What you're trying to do with gloss varnish, you don't want bubbles, you don't want any bubbles. So what we're doing, we're mixing the paint by just going back and forth like so, and that mixes the paint without making lots of bubbles. All we do then is I put a little bit onto my palette, just a little tiny drop, and just use a little brush, and we go right over and paint the eye like so, and that's all we do. I like to add it to the teeth as well, so we just add a little bit there to the teeth. Like I say, it looks a little smoky now, but once it's dry, it'll give a lovely gloss effect. And that's how I do my Cyclops eyes. So what I'll do, I'll give you a quick 360 of the finished miniature, and I shall see you in the next one.